So this is the mock question paper for aerospace engineering GATE 2016. So we'll see some questions. Like we can see the question number 2. To maximize the range of a jet engine, choose the correct option. And the same basic questions are like that. I'll show you all the question. One question is this: maximum velocity of a jet engine driven aircraft can be increased by, okay, yeah, this one, sorry. Question number 11 or 10. Question number 10 and 11. Choose the wrong statement to maximize endurance of a reciprocating engine. Remember, guys, reciprocating engine and here jet propelled aircraft. So, both these I'll explain you. So, requirement is to maximize the endurance of a jet propellant. So, which should be the correct option? Now, and we'll see last question number 35, I think so. Yes, question number 35. To maximize range of a jet engine, it should be flown at a velocity that maximize CL by CD. It's okay, guys. So how we can answer this type of questions, we will understand here. So guys, first of all, we understand, we should understand what is the range and endurance. We know that, guys, the range is the distance covered by the aircraft for given amount of fuel, and endurance for how much time the aircraft would be airborne for given amount of fuel. So to define the range and endurance, one factor that is called SFC play a vast role. Specific fuel consumption, or it is defined as weight of fuel consumed per unit power, take bhp, and per unit time, take hour. And if we'll talk about for, so this is, we can say, reciprocating engine and or propeller. Okay, now if we'll talk about the jet engine, then it is called as a TSFC, and obviously this is weight of fuel consumed per unit thrust or per unit time, hour we can take here. Actually thrust available. So guys, if you understand the definition of SFC, then automatically you can answer all the questions related to the range and endurance. Now suppose, guys, we are talking about first for a propeller engine or reciprocate engine. So what is the difference only? Always remember, guys, reciprocating engines are rated in terms of horsepower. So that's why we are writing here. Or Jet engine always rated as a thrust available. Is it clear? So now, if we are talking about the range and endurance, so guys, tell me when the range will be maximum. So I can say the range will be maximum when the weight of fuel consumed per unit distance should be minimum. If the weight of fuel consumed per unit distance will be minimum, then obviously the aircraft will travel more distance. So for maximize the range, we have to consume the fuel per unit distance very less, means minimum. In the same way, for endurance that related to the time, so weight of fuel consumed per unit time must be minimum if you want to maximize the endurance. Is it guys or not? So now we are suppose just we are talking about only for propeller engines. So BHP obviously comes into the SFC equation. So now see here from the SFC equation guys, if I talk about the endurance, now weight of fuel divided by time, that is hour, must be minimum, is equal to SFC into PHP. So obviously whenever we are flying, the more distance we cover as a steady level flight guys, you know very well. So this we can say this is the power required, SFC into power required. For maximize the endurance, this factor must be minimum. If you want to make this factor as a minimum, then obviously the power required must be minimum for particularly given SFC. Is it clear? For power required minimum means the aircraft must fly as a velocity according to the CL3 2 by CD maximum. Guys, is it okay here? So, in the GATE exam for maximum endurance, they can ask this factor must be minimum, this must be minimum, and if you can make it this minimum also. And for making this minimum, this is the minimum power condition. Is it clear guys? So obviously you can answer this question very efficiently. Which question we were talking about here? This is the jet, and some propeller engine was there. I think so. Question number 11. This is the question number. Yeah. Oh, this is for jet only. So this is Yeah, reciprocating engine, propeller driven engine required. So choose the wrong statement. To maximize the endurance for reciprocating engine, means propeller engine, what should be the condition, guys? Which one is the wrong? Highest fuel weight, flight at CL by CD maximum. This is the wrong only, because the condition is CL 3 by 2 by CD. See, the low SFC, minimum SFC is okay. Flight at sea level and highest fuel weight. Obviously, if the weight is you are carrying more weight, then obviously you can maximize that. And obviously, at the sea level, the propeller engines gives the maximum fuel efficiency. Is it okay, guys? So by this way, we can answer the question. And if we'll go again here, so suppose we want to talk about for the jet engine. Here, weight of fuel per unit time, means hour or time, whatever you can, it must be minimum if you want to cover the more endurance. So obviously TSFC into thrust available, and this thrust available will be thrust required if you are in a steady level flight. So obviously, if you want to make this minimum, then obviously thrust required must be minimum, and this is the condition according to the CL by CD must be maximum. Is it okay, guys? If you want to break this formula for the range, so what you can do, guys, here, just you convert. So anyway, you need this factor for the range. So you can write velocity is equal to distance by time. Distance here put at the time, according here the at the place of the time, distance by velocity. So this factor will be weight of the fuel divided by distance, and B infinity will go up and it will go down here. And this power required by B infinity will be the thrust required. It is clear. So by that way you can carry on ahead. Thank you, guys. If any doubt there, you can ask me again, because this type of questions are very basic question. And question number 2 also was there something. Yes. To maximize the range of a jet engine, choose the correct option. SFC always must be minimum. So jet engine means thrust. We will concentrate on these A and C. So obviously SFC and thrust required should be minimum. This is the correct answer. Maximize the range of, and SFC and thrust to velocity ratio. Okay, we can find it here, no problem. So obviously this is jet engine, so we can write TSFC is equal to weight of fuel, just we will denote by W, thrust required and time. Hour. So they are talking about the range. So obviously we'll find the formula for the range. So W by distance. So here we'll put the distance which is equal to time. H is the time, guys. Distance divided by P infinity. So distance divided by V infinity. So here it will be distance and into V infinity. So this factor must be minimum. So this is equal to here TSFC divided by V infinity TR. So obviously TR we can say, yeah. So thrust to velocity and TSFC. So SFC and thrust to velocity ratio should be minimum. So for making this minimum, guys, this must be minimum and this ratio also must be minimum. So C is the correct answer. Thank you, guys. See you again.